Hi guys, welcome to this session on Microsoft PowerPoint. In this module, I want to show you how you can create a watermark on a PowerPoint slide, and also how you can create a watermark in a chart, and lastly how you can do that in Word as well. So first of all, I'm just going to insert a picture from the Insert tab, and Pictures, I'll use a stock image, and then I'll just pick one of these. Let's have a look at these blueberries, I think. So if I insert that picture onto a slide, you'll get the Format Picture tab coming up, which gives you, for example, the transparency option, where you've got these options and more options through here. If I click on that, the pane comes out on the right hand side, and you've got a manual option there to reduce the transparency. Now that picture is not fitting on the whole slide, as you can see there. You'd have to adjust this so it comes across the whole slide, and then that can be used on that slide like so. So if you type in there, at the moment I can't, because this picture is sitting on top of this text box. What you have to do is go send this to the back, so then this comes forward and then you can type. But that's only on one slide. It's not a theme as such, so it's not one of these themes. I'm not going to save it as a theme, but what I want to do is put that picture into the slide master so it appears on every slide. So to do that, I'm just going to copy this picture right now. I'll delete it off there. So I've copied it, go into the View tab, Slide Master, and then going up to the top one, clicking on this one, and then just pasting that on top of that. Just checking that I can type, and I can't, so I need to send this to the back again. So send to the back, not backwards, back. So it sits right at the back, and then I can type on that, and you can see it's coming down on all of these slide types. And the transparency, if I haven't got it how I want it, I can adjust it a bit more, fade it out a little bit more. It's totally up to you. And then I'll close that, and then that is on every slide. If I create a new slide, it's there, a new slide. And if I do want to save this as a theme, so I've got it forever and ever, I just come into this, save current theme, give it a name, and it'll sit up here with custom. But I don't want to do that. What I need to do now, or what I want to do now, is create a little chart and just show you how you can do that same sort of thing in the back of a graph. So if I just open this, I don't need any data at all, just use this. Now this format chart area is not always on the screen, so I'll just get rid of it. And then to get that on the screen, if I just double click on this, you'll get the whatever you double click on. So I've hit the grid line. I want the chart area, so chart area, format chart area. And then on the paint pot, you've got this, and these are normally collapsed, to be honest. If I just collapse these out of the way, open that up, you've got picture, and then you've got insert picture from this option. So again, I'll get one from file, not from file, from stock images. I'll just pick a random photograph. That'll do. And then that goes into the back of the chart. And again, you've got the transparency option to fade this out to make it as a watermark, and just take it steady as you take it back, and then that sits there. As long as you can see the actual information, that's the key thing. That's just the background. Now I've got the background slide on here. I've clicked onto the slide, so on this particular one I don't want that background, so I've clicked hide background graphics, and I'm just going to push this up to the top maybe, and just make it a little bit bigger like that. Now you can also do the same sort of thing inside these bars. So if I click on the grey bar, for example, and then go to picture and insert, I'll use stock images again. This time I'll go cut out people. Let's see if I can put a person in there. Let's go for that one. So that person's in there, faded out, so I need to bring the transparency back. So I don't want the watermark in there. And let's say you want this to represent sales or something. If I click on that one, now I've got this stack for every one person. It's on one, so because I'm using the default figures that was in the chart, which is obviously small, so it's actually done it for me. but quite often you do have to change that. So if I go 2 and press enter, yeah, and then 3, if I do 3 and press enter, so this 3 units, it's going to give me a picture. So that's getting a bit stretched again, so I'll leave it back on 1. But you get the idea. You can put that in there. That would represent, maybe in this case, what she sold, and you could do another one for that one, another one for that one. But it's all about putting images into a slide, using it as a watermark, doing it in the slide master, and then put it inside a chart, watermark it again, and then inside a column in this case, and have it not watermarked. So that's basically how you can do that. Now, if you want to use these designs, different designs that come with PowerPoint in a Word document, so you can have different styles. If you look at these different styles, they're all quite pretty, quite dynamic. So I'm just going to click on any one that looks sort of cool. Having said that, I can't find one that looks cool. That looks cool. So I've got that, and then the second one, yeah. So what I'm going to do is get rid of the text boxes. Don't want the text boxes. So I've got rid of the text boxes because I want to use this in my Word document. So I'm right clicking on it in this preview side, copy, going into Word, and then I can just paste that in Word, paste, and that will come into Word, and then you can use that as an image. But I want to use this as a watermark in Word. So if I just cut this again to get rid of it for a minute, to put a watermark, and there's 2 ways of doing it. I can go into the header, paste that into there. Now I need to wrap text here because as you can see, it's pushed the header down. So if I go to home, and then not home, should I say, picture, click on the picture format, I need to wrap text, and I want this behind the text. So as soon as I do that, it jumps. You can see now I can push it into the header area, and it's not really having a major effect. Now I need to make this full screen, and I'm going to stretch it a little bit so it comes down to the bottom of this page, so it's the whole document like that into the footer area. Okay, now it's a bit black, so I need to use the transparency tool to fade this out to make this a watermark. So if I hit that, and then you've got this transparency bar that you can pull across again, same as you have in PowerPoint. Just fade that out, probably quite a lot in this example. That'll do. And then if I just double click on this area, or I can go to the header and footer and close the header and footer, but I'm going to just double click. Now I can't double click, so I'll close that. Just make sure I can type. Alright, should have been able to double click, maybe my mouse was playing up, but I can now type with that as my background, like so. So I've grabbed that from PowerPoint and dropped it into a Word document. Now I can also, if I just go back into the header and footer by double clicking at the top and click on the picture, if I right click on this picture, I can save this picture. I'll just call it test for now. It's going in pictures. Because the other, and then I'm going to delete it. The other way I could have done this, there you go, I can double click out now, is I could have gone onto design and gone through the watermark feature in Word, custom watermark, and then insert picture watermark, and then from file, and it went into pictures. It's called test, that one. And then you've got different options there, so it's on washout. So there you can see in the header and footer. If I double click at the top into the header, there it is, there's the image. You can move it if you want, make it the full size of the page once it's gone through that option. It doesn't matter which way you do this, but I think if you're going to put a picture like this in the background of a document, it should cover the whole page. Close header and footer. Just type. There you go, that's okay. So you've got a nice fancy background from a Word document by just saving a picture or a theme from PowerPoint and copying it into Word. So if I go back to PowerPoint, just to recap what we did. So first of all, we created a watermark in PowerPoint by going into Slide Master View and then using the transparency bar to fade that out. And in Slide Master View, it means it goes on every slide. Every new slide, you'll have that on there. You can either leave it as this. This is a theme I've picked to copy, but the one that we did, you can just fade it out like that so it's on every slide. I then copied one of these into a Word document and saved it as a picture that you can then create as a watermark in Word. And you can do that in two ways. Just insert a picture into the header and footer area and resize it, or go through the watermark feature from the design tab in Word. But either way, you can get some really pretty backgrounds for slides or Word pages if you want to do some fancy letters to people. So hopefully this little video has been of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.